Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of The Fishing Teacher, and much appreciated you guys swinging by the channel to hang out with me a little bit for today's video. And guys, we are going to be talking about jerkbaits a lot for the next few months. You guys heard me doing a few videos on this and got a good one for y'all today. I want to talk about jerkbait size, because the size of jerkbait that you use plays everything as far as how many bass you're going to catch in each particular month of the year. Every month of the year, or maybe every 2 months or something like that, the bass prefer a different size of a jerkbait based upon their mood and their personality and different variables, size of bait fish, all that. So I've got 4 different jerkbaits laid out here that I'm going to talk about when I use these profiles. So we're going to get into that in today's video here. Also, guys, a couple quick housekeeping tips to keep the Fishing Teacher on YouTube here. Wanted to remind you that along with the jerkbait, one of my favorite lures for the month of November and December and January is a finesse jig. Here's my new Blaukat Throwback Power Finesse jig that I made for Cumberland Pro Lures. It's the only jig out there that's got a hand-tied living rubber frog hair skirt, which is the best material for a finesse jig. It takes a long time to time. There's a lot involved to it. Just get you guys any type of a brown or green pumpkin color. We got 6 colors. I'll put them on my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video if you guys would like to order a few of them. Get you some 3/8, get you some half, any combination of green or brown. Put you some type of a green pumpkin trailer on it, 12-pound line, throw it on a rocky bank or bluff. Definitely get some good bites this time of year with it, so appreciate that. And also, one final thing, guys, since it is winter, I'd like to invite everybody to please check out my Fish the Moment Lake map breakdowns for the winter months. We do have my winter maps up for sale right now. I'll put that link in the description too. So hold on, guys, I'll be right back. I got to take care of something real quick for my wife. Sorry about that, guys. Had to return a text from my wife here. You guys that are married, you know the deal. You got to jump on that stuff when it's requested there. So back to the video now. Okay, so anyway, appreciate you guys putting up with the plugs there. Here's the thing about jerkbait profile and size. It's like water temperature and water clarity in the time of the year affects the size of a jerkbait that you need to use. Now, there are some variables that we don't really understand, which is great, because I always say in bass fishing, you guys have heard me talk about it, that we don't ever want to understand everything. Guys, if we understood everything in bass fishing, it wouldn't be any fun. It's like if we knew exactly where they're going to be, what they're going to do, and there was no guessing to it at all out there, I mean, that would just not be any fun at all. So there's an aspect of it that is still sort of a mystery, but we do have some clues on some other factors like size. And in my experience, I've been fishing a jerkbait since the 1970s. And this is accumulation of my experience, what I'm getting ready to tell you here in terms of size. Water clarity and water temperature affect size, the time of year, and the stage that the bait fish are in. For example, in late winter, like early, the pre-spawn period of the year, this is the time of year when all of the prey for a bass, the gizzard shad, the threadfin shad, the blueback herring, all the type of stuff that the bass feed on in relationship to jerkbait fishing, they are at their largest size, like in the pre-spawn when the water temperature's in their 50s. So that's going to be one aspect of it. At different times of the year, a lot of the fish, the fry are a little bit smaller. And then that's one part of it, but then there's also an aspect to play in like the type of day, if it's a cloudy day, a windy day, a bright sunny day, water visibility. So we're going to get into that. Now, I'm going to go through these 4 and I'm going to explain to you guys, why they work at certain times of the year. Now let's start small and we'll get larger. Also, guys, I'm going to link all 4 of these baits in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description. These are Megabass Jerkbaits. Highly suggest trying them out, guys. They are fish catching son of a guns, better than any other jerkbait on the market, bar none. Every pro uses them, even if they're sponsored by somebody else. I guarantee every pro on the Bass Pro Tour and the Elite Series has a box full of Megabass. So anyway, first one, guys, is a small little finesse jerkbait. This is the Megabass X Nanahan plus 2. It's a jerkbait that's about 3 inches long, small little profile. This is an excellent size. This profile is what I use in the winter time of the year between like December and February. When the water temperature is cold and the water temperature is clean, and especially if the water temperature is low, which in most lakes across the country, December, January, early into February, that you tend to have the lake is drawn down a little bit lower. It tends to settle out and the water visibility is cleaner and it's colder. Now you can catch, I'm not saying you can't catch fish on different sizes of jerkbait all year long, but I'm talking about the most productive sizes is going to be a little finesse jerkbait like this Megabass X Nanahan +2. I usually fish it on 6-pound tests, Seaguar and Vizex fluorocarbon line. Depending upon the lake that I'm fishing, I'm fishing main lake and secondary points with it. I'm fishing steep rocky banks. I'm fishing, some bluffy banks sometimes. If I do have grass, I'm fishing over like submergent hydrilla or milfoil. I can fish it over that. But this is my #1 lure in this time of year, in this time frame. And one other one that I do use here, let me get it real quick off the wall. This is another one that's sort of the same way that I catch a bunch of fish on, is this Megabass X80. It's about the same size as the X Nanahan, except it's a little bit larger profile. It's a little beefier on the sides, but it is about the same length. So these, if you go fishing with me, like if you guys would book an on the water lesson with me this winter, this is what I'd be having on my rods. You'll find out real quick if you go with me. So that's for a little bit colder. Okay, the next one is during the pre-spawn, when it starts to warm up a little bit. Say, for example, that water temperature is starting to warm up into the 50s. Spawn is just around the corner. We're talking anywhere between mid-February into early April, depending upon geographically where you're located in the country. And this is the time of year I like to use a larger jerkbait. So in this situation, I go up to this 5.5-inch model. This is the Megabass LBO, 5.5-inch jerkbait. Most traditional jerkbaits on the market are 4.5 inches long. This is a 5.5-incher. You can see the difference, between the size on the winter that I use. And this is the time of the year that I want to use a little bit larger jerkbait, because it matches the size of the gizzard and the threadfin shad a little bit more during those times. So I want a larger jerkbait. The places I'm fishing this on during the pre-spawn is I really look for any type of rock transition or channel banks. In the pre-spawn, the bigger fish, one of the first things they do, and I'm talking about the non-live scope fish, I'm talking about the real bass fishing. The first thing that they do, a large population of the fish, is the bigger fish will start to move up on those channel banks. And they really like to set up like on any type of irregular feature, a little cut, little indentation, little point, or a rock transition on a steep rocky bank, 45-degree angle bank or steeper. And I fish that bigger LBO jerkbait on that type of area. And again, if I have a lake that's got submergent vegetation, like this would be a really good choice, like for fishing over the milfoil at Lake Gunnersville during February or March, or Lake Sam Rayburn. But that little bigger one's gonna be a really good deal. Now, the next one that I fish from about, and I do fish this on and off throughout the whole year. It's not like I just fish it this time of year. I'll use it regularly. It's just the straight Megabass Vision 110. This is the standard length jerkbait, 4.5 inches long. But this is the jerkbait that I fish anytime the water temperature is like over 60 degrees. So I'm fishing this jerkbait a lot between like April into November. This is my mainstay size in May, June, July, August, September, October, sometimes into early November. This is just a good all-around size. It's very versatile, catch a lot of different fish on it. I'm fishing it around whatever cover that I'm fishing. If I'm fishing in Florida, I'm fishing it over shallow grass. If I'm fishing it here in the Ozarks, depending upon the time of year, I could be throwing it around a boat dock or next to a lay-down tree or on a rocky bank or on a windy point. But anytime you've got water, especially water temperatures between like 65 and 80 degrees, this is going to be the size of jerkbait that really works good, just the regular 4.5-inch size. Okay, now there's a window for this last one. This last one is like a September and November bait when the water temperature's in the 60s and 70s, and sometimes occasionally you can get them in the late pre-spawn, like when the water temperature is in the mid 50s to around 60, is the biggest one I throw, which is the Megabass Canada. Now this Canada, I catch a lot of big fish on it. Again, say for example, the water's 57 degrees the last week of March. they're going to bite this thing. But really the time that I like it is like right now. It's like, October, November, sometimes into early December. They like a big jerkbait for whatever reason if you get the right conditions. If you have a lake that has water visibility of like, say, 2.5 to 5 foot clarity, and you've got some bluffs and steep rocky banks, and you've got a windy, cloudy day, guys, try this big, giant Megabass Canada, 7 inches long, in those low light conditions where it's south wind, aggressive fish. An aggressive bass will always like a bigger lure with that. Okay, now those are the 4 that I use. Now let's talk real briefly here about the conditions on why. If you have a highly active type feeding day, and a highly active type feeding day for jerkbait fishing is a cloudy day with a windy day, low light conditions, maybe some rain, south wind, they always like a bigger jerkbait. But if you've got a post-spawn situation where the water's clear, there's not much wind, it's bright sunny out, that's when they like a little bit more finessey, smaller jerkbait, and then everything else is just sort of a gradual radiant together with that. So anyway, guys, hope it helps you catch some. Just try these tips out. I'll link everything in my tackle warehouse link if you'd like to get set up with them. We'll check in later.